When you look at the stock market, it's easy to think, is this all just a game of chance? Like, it's just a big roll of the dice? Well, what if I told you that success in the market has almost nothing to do with luck? It's really about skill, it's about discipline, and, maybe surprisingly, it's an art. So let's dive in and see how we can make that shift from just gambling to using a real structured strategy.
It all starts with this one really powerful idea. Let's just get this out there right from the beginning. Making money in the market is not some impossible dream. It's a totally achievable goal. But, and this is a huge but, there's a catch.
And there it is. The market isn't a slot machine where you just keep feeding it money hoping for a jackpot. No, it's a craft. It's something that you have to study, you have to practice, and you have to approach in the right way. And that right there, that single shift in your thinking, from seeing it as chance to seeing it as an art, that's the foundation for everything we're about to cover. So if it's an art, how do you become the artist? Well, it starts with a clear framework. And here is that framework. It's built on these 4 pillars: weekend planning, daily preparation, journaling, and of course, risk management. Now, they might sound simple, but let me tell you, mastering them is the real game changer. And don't think of them as separate things to do. Think of them as a system where each pillar holds up the others, creating this really strong foundation for disciplined trading.
All right, let's kick things off with the first pillar, the weekend plan. This is where the real work for your trading week begins, way before that opening bell on Monday morning. You see, success isn't just found in the heat of the moment. It's carefully built in the quiet of the weekend.
So your weekend, it turns into this 2-part ritual. Saturday is all about looking back. What worked? What didn't? And the big one, why? This is where you dig in and analyze your own performance without the pressure of a live market. And then, Sunday is all about looking forward. You're scanning the horizon for opportunities, and you're building a detailed, concrete game plan for the week ahead.
Okay, so you've got your weekend plan locked in. Now we move to the second pillar, which builds right on top of it, daily preparation. Because let's be honest, a brilliant weekend plan means absolutely nothing if you don't back it up with consistent daily discipline. This is all about building a professional routine.
And here's the key rule for this pillar. Your trading day doesn't actually end when the market closes. Nope. That's exactly when your preparation for the next day begins. You break down the day's action, you see how it lined up with your weekly plan, and you get ready for tomorrow's open. That way, you are never caught off guard.
And this slide, wow, it just lays it all out so clearly, doesn't it? I mean, just look at the difference. On the left, you have the prepared trader. They're proactive, they're calm, they're just executing a plan they already made. But the trader on the right, that person is reactive, getting thrown around by every little tick of the market, totally driven by fear and greed. That's a fast track to stress and, you guessed it, bad decisions. Which side do you want to be on?
All right, on to pillar number 3, your trading journal. Now this might be the single most powerful tool for self-improvement you'll ever have as a trader. Seriously. Think of it as your personal coach, your data analyst, and your psychologist, all rolled into one simple notebook.
You see, a good journal is so much more than just writing down your profits and losses. It's how you actually study your own craft. It makes you get brutally honest and ask those tough questions. Why did I really take that trade? Was I following my plan, or was I just chasing a feeling? What's the real lesson here? Answering these questions is how you finally stop making the same expensive mistakes over and over again.
And that brings us to our 4th and final pillar, the one that honestly holds everything else up: managing risk. I know, it's not the most glamorous part of trading, but it is, without a doubt, the most essential piece for your survival and long-term success.
So let's be super clear about what we mean here. Risk management is not about trying to be right on every single trade, because you won't be. Losses are a guaranteed part of this game. It's about making sure that when you are wrong, the damage is small, it's controlled. Your number one job as a trader isn't to hit a home run, is to protect the capital you have so that you're still around to trade tomorrow.
And this message here, it says it all. This isn't a suggestion. It is the central, non-negotiable rule of the game. Your focus must always come back to managing your risk. With great risk management, you can survive your mistakes. Without it, even the most brilliant strategy in the world is eventually going to fail.
So we've walked through the 4 pillars. When you boil it all down, it comes down to making 4 core commitments to yourself. The very first one, you commit to always have a plan before you ever risk a single dollar.
The second commitment is to that daily discipline. You turn professional habits into second nature. You commit to prepare. Third, you commit to being honest with yourself, to learn from every single trade, whether it's a win or a loss,
By keeping a detailed record. You journal.
And finally, the unbreakable rule, the one you never, ever bend. You relentlessly protect your capital on every single trade, no exceptions. You manage risk.
Look, the system itself isn't complicated. The path is laid out right in front of you. It's all about reframing the market not as a casino, but as a profession that demands real, honest effort. So the only question that's left is the one that only you can answer. Are you ready to do the work?